the snowy streets of downtown St. Albert. Welcome back to the Continental Cup. It's been a one-sided affair so far through 7 draws of this year's Continental Cup. It's been a blowout for the home team. And as much as the world team has struggled, Team North America has been virtually flawless. Player after player, shot after shot, game after game, everybody wearing red has been shooting the lights out. This afternoon, it's the singles competition. And the hot shots on the home team hope to increase their league. Can the team in red stay red hot? This afternoon, draw 8, singles here at the Continental Cup. Well, so far they have been the coaches with the golden touch. Neil Harrison, Rick Lang for North America. All their selections, all their partnerships have worked out almost perfectly. While on the other hand, Pia Lindholm, Paul Trulson, their matchups, they thought they came with a very strong team. And on the resume side of things, they do have a terrific world side. It just has not performed. When you look at the points, it's all been North America leading 133 to 35. And even today in the skins games, David Murdoch carrying the team on his shoulders, scored 17 points, but North America still stretched their lead. So coming up this afternoon, we have the singles competition with 32 points available. And then tonight when we join you again 9:30 Eastern time, we'll up the ante. We'll have more men's, women's, and mixed skins games. And we're playing for 30 points. It is possible that by the end of the day, Team North America could claim this 7th edition of the Continental Cup. As we say hello, Canada, and welcome back to St. Albert. Linda and Russ alongside. You know, if you could only clone David Murdoch and put him on every sheet, the world might have a chance.
He's played so well. You have to think in the locker room, he's trying to help the other teams figure this out. The nice thing, singles, the environment is totally different. It's like going out to practice. You're out there to manage 6 shots. Well, how do you do it? You have to forget the fact that you're 100 points behind. That's the mental skills. You go out and try and execute some great shots. The strategy side of it is interesting, Russ. Who you pick to play those shots.
Yeah, even though it's pure shot making, it's still a bit of strategy. There's 6 shots, 4 curlers. Doesn't divide very well. So you want to have the curler that throws 2 rocks, so that same shot or something similar. There's 2 hits. You've got the hit and roll. You've got the run back. You probably will have your best hitter throw both. You've got a draw to the button and a draw through the hole. The draw through the hole is pretty big, so it's the same shot, really. So have the same guy throw it. So you really have to be thinking. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to perform.
And you equate it to golf, right?
Exactly. It's, you know, there's 5 points available each shot. 3 would be a pretty good score. 3 times 6 is 18. So if you get yourself a 4 in the first shot, that's like a birdie. If you get yourself a 2, that'd be kind of like you, Vic, a bogey.
That's right. And then you're looking for a tree to wrap that brush around, huh? The team's being paraded onto the ice here at the Performance Arena. When we come back, it is the always exciting singles competition.
The 2011 Continental Cup on TSN is brought to you by World Financial Group, helping you move from dreaming to doing. The 2011 Continental Cup on TSN is brought to you by M&M Meat Shops, hundreds of meal ideas, one aisle. By Ford, official automotive partner of the Canadian Curling Association. And by Sponge Towels Paper Towels. Nothing absorbs like it.
It's time to meet the teams that will be participating in the singles competition, brought to you by the new Tim Hortons China Mug and reloadable Quick Pay Tim Card. On sheet A, it'll be Miriam Ott and her Swiss team against Jennifer Jones, the 3-time reigning Canadian Women's Champion. On sheet B, it'll be Andrea Schopp, the reigning Women's World Champion, against the Olympic silver medalist Cheryl Bernard. And on sheet C, Bing-Yu Wang, the former world champion, bronze medalist, against the reigning women's U.S. champion, Erica Brown. We will play the women's games first, and then the men will play after, as we welcome you inside the Performance Arena on this snowy and chilly Saturday afternoon here in St. Albert. the home of the St. Albert Steel of the Alberta Junior Hockey League. Linda, Russ, I always love this competition.
We know you do, Vic, but it's a little confusing because it is 6 shots, 5 points per shot, but it is the team with the most points at the conclusion of those 6 shots that wins the match for a value of 4 points. So there's a lot of points, a lot of shots going on out there.
So let's show you the shots that have to be played. And these are the players that will be throwing them. You've got the 6 shots. Your value per shot is a 0 to 5. It's the team with the most points at the end of the 6 shots that will be awarded 4 points. And those 4 points would go towards the total on the race to 201. Now the first shot to be played is the run through.
Well, it is a rock out in front that you have to move on to the rock in the house. Rock in the house must go out, and then you look at where the raised stone goes to count the points. If it stays on the button, that's 5, and then 4 foot, that's 4, 8 foot is 3, 12 foot is 2, and if it goes out of the house, that raised stone, you do get a single point.
And predetermined, it will be the world team to get us underway. So Miriam Ott is out, and she can use the brushing. And this is Carmen Kung to throw who usually plays the second position, and she will get us underway.
Good. There's another part of the strategy. Through the team, 6 shots, you must play 3 with a clockwise turn and 3 counterclockwise. Now we say that because there can be left-handers and right-handers mixed. If it's all right-handers, that means 3 in-turns and 3 out-turns over the course of this event. So this choice for the run-through is with the out-turn.
Close.
Run it back, stick it, and will not. 0. And so she scores 0.
And I talked about the fact that it's just your own team, but when they announce 0, it's a little disheartening.
The focus is all on you. Over on sheet B now. This is Karina Schultz for Andrea Schopp's team.
This is close also.
Hold off, you can hear her. Run it back. Yes, indeed. 5 for the 21-year-old Karina Schultz.
2 different weights there, Vic. The first one was like a control weight on sheet 1, and that one was at least normal. A little different broom position, well thrown rock.
Now over to sheet C, and it will be the world team skipped by Bingyu Wang from Harbin, China.
The nice thing about singles, as you said, Vic, this is a team. So you've got your own skipper and your own brushers, and that makes it a little simpler to make these shots. Still, you've got to try and execute this shot. There's a bit of distance between the stone to raise and the one in the house.
Xingchuang Yue, who throws the second stones, will run it by, and that's a 0.
No point.
Now there's no hiding when the announcement is made.
This has to be one of the toughest shots too, Vic. We talked about even par being 3. To get 3 on this is very difficult. It's almost a 0 or a 5. You have to, run it back so far. You have to be so accurate, hitting it dead on the nose to have a chance to stick around.
Down on the hack so long, so I'm gonna keep down. She could probably do it.
So we stay on sheet C and see the opposition for the Wang team.
And it's Erica Brown and her team from Madison, Wisconsin. And it is their second and Swiss helm.
9. Close. Close. Close.
Laura Hollisey on the right. Nina Spatola on the left. Haven't touched it, and they won't touch the stone either.
So that'll help Team World, because after you've thrown and gotten a 0, you're really hoping there's a mistake made by your opposing team.
So
But it's good.
So Carolyn Derbyshire now for Team Bernard. And remember that Team World scored 5. So pressure immediately on Derbyshire here.
They've got it the wrong way.
No.
Yeah.
Going to come up for her in time, Russ.
Not quite. Well thrown, but it's a tough shot.
And no points. And so advantage early for Team World as they lead 5-0. They lead 5-0.
Tendencies take a hair too much ice because they came out here and everybody had a short, very brief 5-minute practice, and there was lots of pebble, of course, and by the time you wear it out, it's the first few shots are curling like crazy, and it's hard to start to move that broom in on the real shot. So any bit of extra weight, it's not going to come up to the nose.
So here again, Linda's the opportunity you hope for. We know that Ott's team did not score any points, and this is Caitlin Laws who throws the third stone for Jennifer Jones.
No.
Interesting choice about the weight, as Russ said. If you play a little less weight, you have a chance for it to come up.
Coming up, and touch it.
Try, Caitlin.
Can't get it, can't remove it. And 0 points. And so we've only had one player score the 5. That was a wonderful shot by Karina Schultz through the opening shot, the run through here in singles competition. The singles competition here at the Continental Cup continues. The next is the draw to the button. And at first blush, you think, okay, just put it in the rings. Well, there's the scoring, 5, 4, 3, 2. But, you know, in this, as we said earlier, you can't hide. This is not as easy as you would think. But
Well, you're going to get points out of it, I guarantee you, but to get it right on the button is not easy. It's a combination of knowing the ice, knowing the player, getting the broom in the right spot. And we talked about it a little bit. If the sheet's a little tricky, Russ, and you get a lot of curl, maybe hitting the forefoot and getting those sure 4 is just as good.
Jennifer practiced it. All the teams practiced it earlier, but they only had 5 minutes, and all the 4 curlers are out there once. So Jennifer's probably thrown this shot maybe 3 times. So if she misses the path, it's a little wide to be in fresh pebble. So it's not quite as easy as it would be in the 10th end of a game.
still looking for our first points in this game. Miriam Ott against Jennifer Jones. Both teams failing to pick up any points in the run-through. Jill Officer, Dawn Askin. This is a big scrub now. You've got to get it to the button for the 5. 1 point right now. That's 2. Can you get 3? There's 3. Get it to the blue. There's 4. Can you bite the white? No. It'll be 4 points.
I think I'd be 2 to Dawn Askin and 2 to Jill Officer there. That was well swept.
Now we move over to sheet B, where it is the Team World of Andrea Schopp that has the lead after Karina Schultz got the 5 with the run through, and it's Cheryl Bernard to try the draw. Now, is this what you would expect, to have all the skips play this shot?
Mine's real good.
No, Vic, not necessarily, but Russ is right about the strategy. We've seen the lineups, and the same players are playing the draw, the straight draw to the button, and the draw through the port to the button, so as we expected.
So Corey Morris is on the right. Carolyn Derbyshire, got to think about this now. This is your gold medal shot. This is your shot to win it all. Drag it, drag it, drag it, drag it, and she's going to come up light. And that will be for 3 points. Now over on sheet C, both Team World, Binghu Wang, Erica Brown, her team, they missed the run through. Looking for our first points here, and it will be Erica Brown from Madison, now making her home in Oakville, Ontario.
As I said earlier, they haven't warmed up all the spots sufficiently, and I would suggest that that last rock was thrown on line or speed-wise perfectly, but Cheryl just got maybe a little bit inside line, grabbed a bit of pebble, and they couldn't drag it.
And Swiss Helm on the left. Laura Hollisey.
Take a look.
Have a look. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. There's 5. And it'll stop in time. So now the pressure is thrown right back, Linda, at your opposition. You've just seen them score 5. Bing-Yu Wang gotta respond.
You have to, and as Russ said, you don't necessarily have to get 5 because there's still shots left. But for Bing-Yu, already down now that deficit of 5, you have to be thinking hitting 4-foot.
All right, so you're looking for not par here. You're looking for that birdie, as Russ suggested. Bing-Yu Wang, the world champion of 2009. The Olympic bronze medalist from Harbin, China.
Now they were jogging beside it to start. Is going to have to hit some fresh pebble.
And as it keeps slowing up, will it stay around? It does.
So 2 for the 12-foot.
2 points. Stand by and shoot deep.
量太大了也。
So she'll have to learn from that for the draw through the port.
So now, sorry, go ahead, Linda.
No, I was going to say, so here we don't have a skip. We do have a front-end player, a lead. And that's not unusual to call upon them for the draw.
No, that's part of the resume for the lead for sure, and it's a good idea, really. I would think either the lead or skip would be the logical choice. I think the speed's good on this one, but it's the exact same spot Cheryl did, just maybe a hair tight, and they're going to have to go.
Yeah. Monica Wagner has given it up. Schopp has jumped out to join Schultz, who had made the 5 with the run-through. This is Stella Heiss trying to drag it up now. We saw Bernard's team get the 3, and they'll match it.
3 points. Stand by, shoot.
That's the nice thing about getting 5 on that first shot, Vic. You can match and think of it a bit of that way because you still have that 5-point edge.
It's a little bit like golf, definitely. It's match play, isn't it? You don't have to score many points if you're still ahead of the opponent. And that's a good start, a 5 and a 3.
Okay, so once again, here we go with a lead for Miriam Ott's world team. Janine Greiner out of the Davos Curling Club in Switzerland. Remember now, Jones scored a 4 with her draw. They like the line out of her hand. Schaefer is on the left. Carmen Koga on the right. Here comes Miriam Ott, 2. All the Swiss misses. There's 2, there's 3. Drag it a little more. There's 4, and just shy of 5. And so they even it up at 4 apiece. To run through, draw to the button. When we come back, it's coming through the port. They'll try to put it through the hole. We've completed 2 of the 6 shots. Now, this is draw the port or come through the hole. And again, if you find the button, you'll get 5 points, and then on out through the 4-foot, 8-foot, 12-foot. And if you just make the free guard zone by going through, you're in the white and still playing, well, you get 1 point.
What makes this shot a little harder is if you happen to touch either of the guards, in this case those 2 yellow stones, no points are awarded. You must get through the port in order to capture those points.
And interestingly enough, as we begin now with Team World and Miriam Ott's team, it is again Janine Greiner who just threw the draw.
Everyone will repeat. The ones we just saw play the draw, the straight draw, will try the port shot.
How tough is the ice here, Russ?
Well, I think the ice is fine, but it's visual. We just had a nice camera angle from the end there. This rock is still in the center of that yellow one, still in the center of that outside yellow. It's still there, and everybody's going, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And you can easily undersweep waiting for it to curl. You have to believe in the curl.
All right, believe in it and believe in your brushers. Schaefer and Kung pick her up, sneak it by. Yes, they did. They waited. Now here they go. How far can they go? There's 3. There's 4 more for Team World and Miriam Ott.
Stand by and shoot B.
Everybody's happy for sure on Team World that those points are getting awarded, but you're right, Russ. You saw how dangerously close that came to the guard, and they were a little late in anticipating the brushing.
And it would be on the outside guard all the way down. It's amazing how that ended up over buried by a foot.
Stella Heiss from Andrea Schopp's team, the 17-year-old. In fact, happy birthday. She turns 18 today. Stella Heiss, after a three-point pickup in the draw to the button. Schultz and Wagner.
Pretty tight line here, Vic.
It is. It's diving at the center line guard. They've got to really work to get it by. And that is not the kind of birthday present that she would like. No points.
Slid narrow the whole way. If you know Andrea, she actually points to the player who's sliding narrow to try and get them to throw it back out, and Stella could not quite do that. That would be hard.
It's hard to believe this amount of curl. It really is. They're really curling hard from the hog line in.
So here it is, Bingyu Wang, who I would think is very disappointed, Linda, with scoring just 2 on the draw to the button. Now she's got to come through the hole.
And it was a back 12 rock. That meant she didn't give her brushers any chance to contribute to the shot, so she has to find the weight on this one and let them take it.
Bingyu Wang from Harbin, China.
Line's great.
Yep, come through the hole. Now, where's it going to be? She was heavy. She was heavy with her first one. Will it stop in time? Oh, it did. Look at that.
Great recovery, and that's what it's all about. Right on the button.
Boy, how that dug in for her.
Now Erica Brown is leading at this before this shot started. She had a 5 to Bingyu's 2, and now Bingyu has 7 points. So Erica wants to be sure of a good score on this to stay ahead.
Right there? Is that where I was? You're right here. I think you can leave it now. The guard's out there farther.
You know, we were talking about golf earlier. You think about this, and look at, you play through holes all the time in curling, but, you know, to relate it to golf, what your eye sees isn't necessarily the flag. It sees that tree, or it sees that sand trap, or it sees that pond first, right?
Great point, Vic. You have to get around the inside bunker, but you're kind of aiming at the outside bunker if we want to use the golf. And it's tough for the person holding the broom to get on this early enough. And if you don't, it'll overcurl for sure.
Erica Brown, who
Wait only.
picked up 5, trying to match the 5 just thrown by Bingyu Wang.
Looks really good.
Got the hole, she does. Now it's all on its own. Needs to stop. There's 3, there's 4, and it's right on the hole for 5.
2 perfect shots from the skipper.
So back-to-back 5s, and Brown has a 10-7 lead over Wang. And remember, in all these games, as we total it up, if you win your respective game, you get 4 points in the race to 201.
Cheryl is still behind on this sheet, so she'll need a good score.
Right now it is 8-3. Stella Heiss crashed on the guard. So an opportunity
All yours.
with a 5 here by Cheryl Bernard to tie the score.
Take a look.
Carter Shire Morris. Now they'll pick it up. Find the hole. They waited for it. They waited for it. They got it by now. That's 2. That's 3. Oh, they maybe waited too long for it to break. They'll get the 4 points.
They did, absolutely. We were watching it come down and we saw it break, and they still waited. They had to get on it at that break point.
It's almost like a kick.
So the difference is that 5 put up early by Karina Schultz. 1 point difference.
Certainly on that sheet, you don't have to get anywhere near the center guard.
Jennifer Jones now for Team North America in her game against Miriam Ott. We just saw Janine Greiner throw a 4, so she needs a 4 to tie, a 5 to take the lead through 3 shots.
No.
This is that tricky sheet where the rock hangs so long on the wide guard. But you know it'll go.
Now they believed in it. They may have taken this just a little earlier than we saw.
Right to the tee.
Right to the tee. There's 3, there's 4, and it's right to the 5.
Good job. That got nicer. I was a little bit crisper with it, I thought.
And with that, Jones takes the lead by 1 over Miriam Ott.
That's at a 920 under my back. Really?
So 3 shots of the 6 have been completed. And next, Linda Russ the raise.
Well, there is a rock out in front. You need to move into the rings, and it's where that raised stone goes that gives you the points. If it goes all the way to the button, it's 5, 4'4", 8'3", 12'2", and if it's moved forward, you still get a single point.
Stays in the white. So it's Ott and Jones, and it's Jones and North America leading here 9-8 in the singles competition here at the Performance Arena. The men to follow, and they'll play their 6 shots. There we have Nicholas Adine against Pete Fenson. We'll have Murdoch against Martin. And Cooey against Ulsrud. That's after the women finish. Dawn Askin now will attempt the raise for Jennifer Jones and Team North America.
This will be the 1 shot that she's asked to play for the team.
Dawn obviously is one of the best drawers in the country, but you have to marry the speed here because it's you hit a quarter rock, you lose a lot of motion, and you have to try to get it. If you want to get it in the forefoot, you almost have to hit it dead on.
Whoa, then, whoa, if you're heavy, whoa. Yeah, you gotta go.
Officer, Caitlin Laws on the brush.
Hard line, real hard.
Trying to hold the line, just to bump it right
go,
on
go.
the beak, and it is over curled. And she'll raise it just to the top edge of the 12, and that's 2 points.
I didn't think it was that light, but
That caught them. That was light. It also was fairly tight ice and did not do what they wanted it to do. So Team North America sees that their team is a little ahead on that sheet, but not a lot.
Bit of a misread there. They yelled out a little bit heavy, and it turned out it wasn't. And unfortunately, they could have been sweeping to keep it straighter.
Corey Morris, the lead for Gerald Bernard to play the raise.
No.
Now this is the opposite. This one is really hanging out, maybe a little extra weight. Yep.
Catch some of the white, and it will sit in time. That's worth 3.
3 points.
Another par.
Good try. That's such a guess.
As you suggest, that may be the goal here. Parring out as Laura Hollisey steps in to throw for Erica Brown.
Well, Erica has given them the edge with her 2 perfect draws. So I'm sure they'd love something like a 3 on this raise.
Hollisey from Medfield, Massachusetts. She's studying pharmacy.
Okay, Laura.
And she will get nothing.
No points.
It's a great example, Vic, of how much how weight sensitive this ice is. That was obviously overthrown, but it didn't come anywhere near to the line you needed by throwing that extra 8 feet.
And sheet C, first, the official director.
So it'll be the lead for Binghu Wang. This is Yen Cho.
A chance to catch up. If she gets that target score of 3, it will be a tie on this sheet.
Currently 10-7 advantage Brown in North America in this game.
Now this one's going to curl a lot. I think you have to take that into account. They called them off for a minute, and it's going.
Yin Lu, Cheng Chuang Wei, weighing out as well, just trying to catch a piece, bump it up, grab something, and it does. Just the top 12.
2
Points. And so Brown, despite the fact they got no points, still leads it 10-9 through 4 shots. Now for Team Europe, or for Team World from Europe, Andrea Schops third. This is Monica Wagner.
Andrea made the perfect shot to start, had the edge, but now it is 10 for North America and Cheryl Bernard, and only 8 for Andrea Schopp, so they need something out of this.
If this hits a dead on, it's going to be too deep. There's a lot of weight here.
Probably should have brushed it to try and get an angle.
Exactly.
Oh boy, that's as nice a hit as we've seen, and no, just that far, but it came to exactly the nose.
Yeah, the line was perfect, but if you can get on those early, stay on them, hit it thinner, and that takes a little bit of speed off it.
That was definitely a team error.
So Bernard has the lead by 2 through 4. Through 4 shots. Now, Miriam Ott, the skip, the 2-time Olympic silver medalist.
And she is down by 3 at the moment.
Good looking speed, he just has to curl.
Nothing, just a clean from Griner. Now they'll jump it. Trying to hold it for the nose. There it is. There it is. There's 3. There's 4. A little more. Yes. Oh, goodness. Just enough to bite the button for 5.
And that's the best managed shot I think we've seen. Great communication about the weight to know if it could come to the nose or not. And they did it perfectly.
And with that, through 4 shots, Ott takes the lead. And notice again, if it holds up, they will pick up the 4 points for the win. We've played 4. This is the singles here at the Continental Cup. Shot number 5 of the 6 being played in singles is the hit and roll.
You come off an opposition rock just outside the rings and try and roll in. It's the position of that roll that give you the points. 5 for the button, 4 for the 4-foot, 3, 2 for the 12-foot, and 1. But the biggest thing is the shot must be played from the center line out. And often we see mistakes on the combination of ice and weight.
Yeah, it's so easy to overthrow this. To actually make the roll to the pin, you need at least normal. But the other option is to throw a nice quiet shot, roll yourself into the 12 or 8 foot, and guarantee yourself 2 or 3 points. A 3 on this one's a pretty good score.
I agree completely. In particular for Carmen, they have a little edge here, not much. 2 points over Jones.
Yep, 13-11 as we get set to play the hit and roll. This is the Ott third, Carmen Schaefer.
There's only one team amongst the 6 that does not have the same player on the last 2 shots, the hit and roll and the double.
A lot of rotation. It should spring right across here. This is close.
Roll it over. There's 3. A little bit more. Can you bite the blue for 4? Get there. Oh. It did a U-turn and went back for 3. It said 4. No, I'm going back for 3.
Great throw.
It's kind of how the week has gone so far for Team World.
Yeah. Wrong side of the spin.
Yeah.
That was well thrown. As you can tell, you almost have to hit it thicker, therefore throw it harder to get to the button. But now you risk just hitting and rolling right out and getting, 1 point.
Andrea Schopp, who trails Cheryl Bernard 10-8 as she throws here, the 2-time and reigning women's world champion from Garmisch-Partenkirchen. Now, sit for her. Nope. Bite 5. Nope. 4. Nope. Sit for enough for 3. Spin back. And will not. That'll be 2.
On sheet C, curlers, the officials are ready.
The third for Binghu Wang. This is Yin Liu.
Just 1 point behind, so a score of something like 3 would be a huge benefit for her team.
Currently, North America, Erica Brown leading 10-9. How close are they here? And not.
A huge mistake on the ice call or brushing, because it looked like she threw it all right. No call for brushing on release.
A lot of the Chinese rocks are over curling, and we talked about it earlier, the soft release, and they just got caught. The initial reaction was yelling, whoa, so it must have been thrown well.
So the single point evens it up for the moment. Now Erica Brown's team from Madison and Nina Spatola. Just 22 years of age from McFarland, Wisconsin.
Pretty tight ice here, Linda. They must be going to throw at least normal, I would think.
Now, we haven't seen this spot because the other team just played the other side, but I agree. This looks like an off-weight shot.
Two-time U.S. junior champion. They've been perfect twice. They've had 2 zeros as well.
I don't think it was enough ice.
It sure didn't look like it, unless there's a straight spot there we haven't seen all week, but she threw almost normal. I wasn't close.
And so with that single, Brown continues to lead by 1. Susan O'Connor to throw for Team North America, and Cheryl Bernard. The Bernard third. Andrea Schopp scored a deuce.
Close.
Well, a nice looking shot here.
Yes! Hard!
Should spin.
Got it. There it is. There's, this is really good 3. There's 4. This looks really good. Really good. Come on back. No, it'll sit for 4.
Great throw.
Darn.
And so Bernard stretches the lead now to 4. 14-10 over Schopp with 1 shot to play. Caitlin Law settling in after the 3 by the world team.
Just clean. Whoa. Clean. Yep.
Needing 5 to tie. Perfect shot would get them a tie through 5.
Hard, really hard, Jill. You gotta go. Go.
Jennifer Jones jumping in as well.
Sorry, Caitlin.
And 1 it is. Again, Linda, not enough ice?
I don't think so. I think they're anticipating with that weight, it breaks enough about the 2/3 pole, I said. And it really goes.
So it's a 4-point lead for Team World on sheet A. And the final shot is the double takeout.
Well, it's almost all or none because you must remove both stones in order to count. Then you look at where the shooter goes. If it does nail it and sit on the button, that's a 5. If it rolls a bit, that's 4. And if it keeps rolling, of course, the points do go down. But it's having to remove both of the rocks. That's the hard part. The shot also must be played from the center line out.
And it'll be Jill Officer. 4 points here, that's the difference. 16-12 at the moment. Miriam Ott and Team World leading, so they need to get the shot here, at least 4 to tie, hope for a big miss, or 5 to take the lead for the moment.
This is the type of shot we talked about, the soft hit and roll the last time on the angle shot, but this is where you need some speed. You have to remove both rocks, you have to jump it across, and that's why Jill Officer's in the hack.
Close.
It's always been the weapon, the upweight shot for Jennifer Jones, all on its own. They haven't put a brush to it. Got 1, got 2, and sits for 4. So it brings her up to 16 points, and for the moment tied with Ott as we work our way across. Now for Team North America and Cheryl Bernard. This again, Susan O'Connor. Bernard currently with a 4-point lead, 14-10.
Yep, hard,
Really
hard.
That looked tight out of her hand.
Hard.
And you can hear that Bernard's called on Derbyshire and Morris trying to hold the line, hold the line, get something across the top, and nothing.
Sorry, guys.
And that is a huge miss, Linda, at this time.
It's a little opening for sure, but we see a lot of these shots missed. So it's not a guarantee that the opposition will make it either.
I didn't throw it how I wanted to.
Yeah.
Probably got about an inch of error, maybe, like an inch thick, an inch thin, and you don't make that shot. And so it's you have to be incredibly precise with quite a bit of speed.
Nina Spatola with Brown leading 11-10 going into this final shot against Bing Yu Wang. And again, Swiss helm policy, just like on the previous shot, trying to hold the line here. She'll get one, and then, as you suggest, across the top and no points.
Stand by on sheet C.
Why use that, Linda?
Well, double takeouts are hard anyways, and this ice curls quite a bit. Playing it from the center line out is a little bit of a question mark. Often you see people play it the other way, but the rules are you must play it that way.
I like the way Jill Officer, to make the 4-pointer. She threw that almost peel weight under control, obviously, but that last one that came down there was more like a normal, and I don't know whether you'd get both rocks out with normal weight.
So there's a chance here for the win. The Brown team, Erica Brown, Team North America with 11. Needs 1 to tie, 2 to take the 4 points in the race to 201. In Liu. Got 1, and we'll go across the top 2. No points, and so the 4 points will go to Team North America.
Another overcurl by the Chinese team, and you know they're throwing it well because the initial call is whoa, whoa, whoa. All of a sudden it takes off.
Erica Brown with 10 of those 11 points for her team.
Good point.
Andrea Schopp. Andrea Schopp and Team World down by 4. It is 14-10 at the moment. All on its own. Got it. 1. There's 2. Oh, she's come through. The reigning women's world champion makes the 5 and steals it from Bernard and Team North America. 4 points will go to Team World.
Great shot. A little more weight that time. Almost peel weight. Well played. Well swept.
Good.
Just about lost it. It started to curl the end.
Yes, I was thinking that too, but nice throw by Andrea.
So the 4 points go to Team World. And now, in a 16-all tie, Carmen Schaffer. Should she not make the shot, Linda, they'll split the points.
They will. This is an opportunity, though. You have to throw it hard, as Russ said, because if you just remove both of the rocks, you do get a single point.
Make the double roll out, you win.
Oh, they called on Kung and Griner right away. Big scrub off of 1, and then across the top, and so there will be no points. We are tied at 16 all, and it means they will split the 4 points, each team getting 2 apiece in the race to 201. So a great shot by Andrea Schopp, getting the 5 on the double takeout to win for the world. Erica Brown wins for North America, while Otten Jones split. As the men will now take the ice and get ready for their 6, as Team North America inching a little bit closer. 139-41. The men are coming up.
The 2011 Continental Cup on TSN is brought to you by World Financial Group, helping you move from dreaming to doing. The 2011 Continental Cup on TSN is brought to you by Purex Bathroom Tissue. Its softness they'll notice. By Tim Hortons' new Hickory Smoked Ham Breakfast Sandwich. And by M&M Meat Shops. Hundreds of meal ideas, one aisle.
Through the women's singles, well, basically it was a wash, 6 points apiece. But if you're Team World and looking for something, sure, you gave up 6 points, but you got something, a little confidence, and certainly North America inches closer to 201 and the 7th Continental Cup Championship. Now let's meet the men's teams, brought to you by the new Tim Hortons China mug and their reloadable quick pay Tim card. And on sheet A, it will be Nicholas Edin from Karlstad, Sweden, against Pete Fenson.
And of course, we look at these, and you have to have 2 players play 1 shot and 2 play 2 shot. And like many of the others, we see the draws played by the same player in each case.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It's the same shot that getting through the hole is not as easy as the free draw, but it's the same speed control. So you want the same curler with that type of touch.
On sheet B, David Murdoch and the gold medalist Kevin Martin.
Well, we wondered if Kevin Martin might be asked to play a high, hard one because he can, but of course his whole team can. So he is also playing the draw shot, whereas third Ralph Steckley is playing the draw for the other team.
And on sheet C, Thomas Ulsrud, silver medalist, Kevin Cooey, world champion.
Well, great percentages. Both teams have played well. Thomas missed a couple of takeouts, wide open hits against the American team, so you expect him to play the draw, and that's what you get. He's going to play both draws. He's one of the best drawers in the world, and you're going to see Carter play the hit and roll, which is his forte.
So those are the games. Each game is worth 4 points. And our opening shot is the run-through.
Well, we saw it with the women's play. They had all kinds of trouble. We do expect the men to do this well. The run through to the button is 5, and on through the shots as far as the circles go, 4, 3, 2. And if you happen to remove the shot stone, you do get the single point. We expect a few more points because this is more the repertoire in the men's play.
Yeah, the men play a little more defensively, a little better sweeping. The shot's a little easier, but don't kid yourself. It's a tough shot. You miss the dead-on nose hit by more than an inch. You're not even close to that back rock.
Nicholas Edin will get us underway for Team World. The 25-year-old skip from Karlstad, Sweden.
A pretty soft weight. I think they got it too long here.
Lindbergh Shell trying to hold the line for their skipper, over curled. And it'll go on by.
Ja, bra, vi skulle ha kört den där. Fan vad trögt gick.
So no points. Simon Struben will throw for the Murdoch team. Simon, the 31-year-old out of Switzerland.
Interesting, a lead all his life. I'm surprised he's playing this shot.
Steckley, Lang from Germany trying to hold it, run it back, catch it, and out it goes. Can't hold the shooter. And it's a single point for Team World. I remember in women's play, it was only Corina Schultz from Germany who was able to score the 5 points in this particular shot. Thomas Ulsrud, and this is Torger Nergård, and he throws the third stones for the silver medalists from Vancouver.
It was interesting. He actually has quite a different release, so there was tight ice, but he sort of flips it out.
Christopher Sva, Havard Vad Pettersson, run it back through the legs, gets the stone, can't hold the shooter, and a single point.
Tremendous different ice there. And that's what we talk about all the time, the different releases, and that's the tough thing for the skips to catch on to.
So we see only 2 single points. And interestingly enough, here for this shot, the run through, it'll be the skip Kevin Cooey. And we saw, if you were with us earlier today, him making some wonderful shots. This is his strength, is it not, Linda?
Oh, absolutely. Any upright shot you can call on Kevin to make. That's a definite thing. Interesting again, he's playing at very big weight because of the tight ice, and that's to try and take curl out of the equation.
Team World with their single point. Nothing from Carter Rycroft on the right, or Noel Thiessen. No, and he'll get it and can't hold the shooter. That's a single point. So
interesting, the different approaches, Vic, with the speed control like that was flying down there. You wonder how you ever stay, and then you see somebody else throw a really soft weight, and it's all about the eye and what you see out there.
So they each pick up a single point. Team World picked up a single point for Team North America. This is Mark Kennedy who throws the second stones for Kevin Martin.
And remember, the team must throw 3 of each turn, 3 counterclockwise, 3 clockwise. Of course, a lefty here.
Ebert, Morris backing right off now. Right on the beak. Right on the beak for 5.
Is that any good?
I think we saw a few of those during the Olympics.
Oh, and what a time to do it. He is the spokesman for this year's Continental Cup. He lives here in St. Albert. So 5-1 after Simon Struben picked up just the single. Now, great opportunity here for Team North America. After Team World, Nicholas Edin didn't get anything. And a chance here now for Sean Rojeski, who throws the third stones for Pete Fenson.
Little extra weight here, lots of rotation.
I think he put that little spin on it at the end. You heard the whoa right away.
And he will get 0. And so both sides failing to pick up a point, Team World or North America, in the run through. Next up, it's the draw to the button.
Well, we did talk about this in women's play, and it's not that it's so hard, but interesting now to see how the ice reacts. Draw that button and you get the full 5, and any other circle goes down 1 point each time. We expect something from the players, some points in the circles from this, but hitting that button is sometimes elusive.
There's been a few more shots down here watching the girls play. They warmed it up a bit, and all the men's teams had a close eye watching those shots. So I expect to see lots of 4s and 5s here.
And it will be the skipper, Pete Fenson from Bemidji, Minnesota. And we saw a lot of the skips throw this shot, Linda.
Often the skips are the lead. There's just 1/3 actually. Sebastian Kraup on this sheet playing against Fenson will throw the 2 draws. Otherwise, we often see the skipper lead. It's kind of their kind of shot.
Brian Brunt on the left.
Line will be good. Line will be good.
Joe Polo on the right. You can hear Sean Rojeski. All right, that's 2. That's 3. That's 4. Stop there. That's 5. 4. And it'll hang on the back of the 4. 4 points. Boy, how things have changed. You know, I would have thought a few years ago all the upweight shots would have been played by Kevin Martin, and now here he is, Mr. Soft Hands.
Well, his game really has changed, and not like he's going to miss too many wide open hits either, but he's become really proficient at this shot, and a couple of the reasons are standing beside him.
I was going to say,
hair tight.
of all the players on the ice, the tolerance on this is definitely light because they can drag this.
Okay, line's
You
good.
heard just maybe a little bit light.
It might come down.
I don't think
Kennedy
so.
and
Watch it
Hebert
close.
backing off.
Do we have to cover the nail for 5? No. Okay.
No, just put it in the white, John, for 5 points. Just put it in the white for 5 points. Put it in the white for 5. Well, that's terrific for Martin's team. That's back-to-back 5 points.
Pretty nonchalant too, Vic. Johnny says the rock's at the far hog line. He says, do we have to cover the pin to get 5, or do we just have to draw the button?
Yeah. What do you want from us? We'll do it.
Good throw.
Colin Thiessen, the Kevin Cooey lead.
Pretty good day.
After they scored just the single point on the run through.
Stay close.
Made a room.
Stay close.
All there. Line's good.
Yep.
All there. Looks heavy.
Blake McDonald on the left, Carter Rycroft on the right. They've done nothing. They're just standing back and watching as it slides through 5, through 4, and stops center line, back 8, and that's 3 points.
3 points.
And you often talk, both of you, you've got to give it to the brushers. And, you know, in a situation like this, maybe the tendency is to try and want to do it all yourself. Huh?
Well, I think it's funny because, and it's a different, you're in a different frame of mind here too. We talked about Nolan earlier today. I don't think he was behind the tee line all 3 games he's played, but all of a sudden he's on his own stage by himself. No real warm-ups. You have to just walk out there and make it. And I think a little adrenaline there.
So Thomas Holsrud now has an opportunity, trailing at the moment 4-1, to take and put Team World in front. The silver medalist from Vancouver.
And he chose the other turn for these shots, so he doesn't really get the read from his opposition.
Pettersson and Sva watching. That is 5 so far, and that is 5. And Team World takes the lead.
You almost fooled me.
And sheet B, first officials are ready.
Now for David Murdoch, this is Ralph Steckley, the bronze medalist from Vancouver, the former world junior champion of '97.
When the coach and captain put you on the sheet matched up against Kevin Martin, you know you have to be maybe a little better than our target score of 3 on every shot. And they only got 1 on the first, so Ralph really needs this to go on the button.
And Team North America picked up 5 with their first 2, the run through, and of course the draw to the button. And so now it needs to start digging in, because there's 3 and there's 4. Can he put it there? Yes, he can. There's 5. So Steckley responds to the pressure.
Oh, nice shot. Ralph skipped all his life. He's playing vice for Murdoch in this event, but that's his shot he's paid to do.
Ja,
Well
ist
thrown,
das ein bisschen. Ich habe es ja noch überlegt, sagt man es. Auf den Punkt.
Sebastian Kraup, who throws the third stones for Nicholas Edin from Karlstad. Playing against Pete Fenson, who put up a 4 spot. So a chance to take the lead here if they can get a little bit of the white. Chet. How's that? Covers the hole. And Team World will take the lead for the moment by 1-5-4 over Fenson. We've played 2 of the 6 shots in men's singles. More when we come back to Continental Cup. Just a reminder, our coverage of the Continental Cup continues tonight, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. It will be men's, women's, and mixed skins, with each game worth 30 points in the race to 201. Right now, it is Team World leading in 2 of the 3 shots played so far. This is the draw to Portland.
Well, it's the same shot we just saw, but remember, you cannot touch either guard on the way through. If you do, you get 0. If you get through and hit one of those circles, it's the same 5, 4, 3, 2. And if you get into the free guard zone, just 1. Has to go past the guards.
And there's the hole. Looks different from here, Russ. Sebastian Kraup with Edin and Team World leading Fenson in North America 5-4 after 2 shots.
Has to get through, though. You can't let it curl too much.
Frederick Lindberg is on the left. Victor Schell is on the right. Through the hole. He's found that. What will he find here? Well, he won't find 5. Won't find 4. And just holds on to 3.
They're busy adding, and they know that they need some of these players to come through with more than just that 3.
Up next, it's Team World. It's Murdoch against Martin. This is Ralph Steckley, who just put it on the lid for a 5.
Oh, bigger line, bigger line.
The 2006 Euro champion.
Hard.
Who hasn't played very much, Russ.
Line's good. Line's good.
No, he has not at all, and yeah, he's a real competitor, and it is a bit like riding a bike, but not when you're against the best bike riders.
Through the hole. He did it once. Can he do it twice? Oh, yes, he can.
I quit.
Ralph's thrown his 2. He's got a perfect 10 on his 2. It's up to the rest of the team.
You know, now, of course, coming up, it'll be Martin throwing for Team North America. But first, let's go over to Sheet C. Thomas Ulsrud and against Kevin Cooey. It is 6-4 right now, the World, and Ulsrud leading. And this is the skipper, Thomas Ulsrud.
He did hit the button, and Nolan Thiessen for the Cooey team was back 8. So this is another chance to take the lead.
Looks real good.
Ulsrud coming off a Euro championship, won just before Christmas. 3, 4, grab some of the white, a little bit of the white. Oh, sure he will. There's 5. There's a lot of deep breaths after these shots, you know?
Yeah, there are. Yeah, you're doing it for your team and also the other players on the bench.
So it's currently 11-4 for Team World and Ulsrud ahead of Cooey. And Nolan Thiessen will play the draw through the hole, draw through the port.
I would think Nolan's probably never thrown a rock where all 2,000 people in the arena are watching him too, you know, at the lead position. His skipper's had a few, we know that, one to win the Brier, but it has to be a little bit different. He was a hair heavy the first time. See if he makes that adjustment.
McDonald on the left, Rycroft on the right. And then, of course, if you're at a Brier World Championship, you know, you've got maybe another couple of sheets. People are sort of watching the 5-ring circus. But here, all eyes are on him right now. And he'll slide just 5 for 4. So Ulsrud and Team World continue to lead there, 11-8 through 3 of 6. Now, we saw earlier Steckley respond and match Martin. Now it's Martin's turn to match Team World and the 5 put up by Ralph Steckley.
So far they're going for the perfect record. 2 5s on the first 2 shot by Team Martin.
Line's good.
John Morris likes the line. Kennedy and Hebert waiting for the stone to break.
Line's good. T-line. Yep.
Through the hole. Now they'll pick it up. Morris out with just a little light dusting. Okay. Got to grab the white. Just a piece. How's that for 5? 3 5s in a row for Team North America.
I got a little wider on that one. That's why I got a little wide with it. It's all going to come down to this sheet. Or the doubles. It's all the doubles. As long as it
now over on sheet A, it's currently an 8-4 lead for Team World and Nicholas Edin. And this is Pete Fenson.
Oh, room.
Picked up a 4 on the draw to the button.
Yep, go.
Trying to stay with the opposition on this sheet. After zeros on the first shot, they responded well, both of them.
Joe Polo. Brian Brunt, this is a big strop. Got to get it by the guard. Get it by the guard. Oh, they did. Great to hold the line. Now drag it for all it's got. Every inch a little white. Little white. Oh, no, they'll get the 4.
You have to have seen how much that curled. That came out the other side of the guard by 2 feet.
Linda, they were yelling, room, 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 lots of room, and almost, they thought, I guess they thought they were going to get to the outside guard, and that ended up 2 feet over curling.
Well, we went around the guard. I mean, we just...
Next up, it is the Rays.
We didn't see this play all that well by the women. You'd have to raise that stone into the rings, and again, if it's on the button, it's worth 5, 4 for the 4-foot, 3 for the 8-foot, 2 for the 12-foot, and as long as you push the stone forward, if it doesn't make the rings, you get a single point. The problem is you have to manage the speed. If it's heavy, you need to catch less of that raised stone and go for as many points as you can and not wait for it to curl up.
Well, you mentioned the women, Linda. We only saw 1 perfect score in the Rays, and that was by Miriam Ott's team for Team World on sheet A.
On sheet A, first officials are ready.
Here at the Performance Arena, and what a performance we have seen so far from Team North America, dominating the first 2 days of this Continental Cup. Team North America, Pete Fenson, and this is Ryan Brunt, the Fenson lead.
Wait, 20. Yep, line.
From Portage, Wisconsin.
How much? Back 8.
The line's looking real good. They're trying to get her to slow down a little.
Oh, just came across the nose a little bit. Can you catch a piece of the blue? A little bit of the blue? No, it'll just spin away for 3.
Okay. 3 points. Good. Then Brian Kennedy.
Thanks, buddy.
On sheet B, first officials are ready.
Ben Hebert will throw for Kevin Martin, the Martin lead. It's an interesting choice, I think.
No,
We
got room.
said that
It's good.
watching some of these players, Ben Hebert playing the lead, we thought they might play the draw, but if you look at Kevin Martin, he made two perfect draws, so you can't take much away from that.
It's not the bad choice there. And then Ben does play
Clean.
the tick shot all the time, so he's used to this type of speed.
Boys, he got it. Oh, gosh, right on the nose, right on the nose, right on the nose, right on the pin.
They're going for a perfect score.
Wow.
Good shot, Benny. We got 2 left.
Wow. They have been absolutely perfect. They have had 4 5s.
I like the weight early. What's that?
13.5 is what I need here, okay?
Blake McDonald for Team North America. The Kevin Cooey third.
Oh, then. Mine's good.
Team World. Olsrud currently leading this game 11-8.
Whoa, whoa,
Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa. Off
Stay
for
close.
line. Off for line. Off, 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 off.
Stay
off,
close.
Off.
Just didn't get to the nose, Russ. And it will sit for the 4.
4 is a great score.
Håvard. Tror du den der er rettere stein, og han skulle ikke opp han heller, altså.
First officials are ready.
Sånt.
Så lite.
Well, we saw Hebert, the lead, do it. Can we see a lead here for Thomas Olsrud and Havard Vad Pettersson?
Well, just a point behind. They would love to get the maximum on this.
Sebastian Kraut is on the left.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Torgård Nergard, Christopher
Whoa,
Swab
whoa, 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 whoa,
on this
whoa,
shot
whoa,
for
whoa.
Havard Vad Pettersson. Olsrud calling line. Did he get to the nose? He did. Where is it going to go? That's 3. That's 4. Will it stop? Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great shot.
So a 4-point lead for Olsrud, as they've had 3 perfect scores in the 4 shots.
Those are big numbers.
Now this is Andreas Lang, who throws the second stone for this all-star team, skipped by David Murdoch. Right now, North America, Martin has thrown up 4 5s. Not hearing anything from Murdoch. Don't touch it. That's 3. Will it catch a bit of the blue? No, that's 3.
3 points. Stand by to shoot in.
So it wasn't that heavy.
Oh, it's tough to compete, Russ, when the other team is putting up perfect numbers.
Well, yeah, we said 3 is a good score, and they've got, what, 2 5s, a 3 and a 1, and they're way behind Martin. Martin's just on fire.
It's all Eagles, isn't it?
That's right, it's all Eagles.
Okay, Victor Schell, another lead. Throwing the range.
He needs points.
Right now it's fencing up 11-8.
Kjala. Rent. Whoa. Bra fart.
Lindberg.
Whoa. Helt upp.
Kraut, nothing. Did he get to the nose? Oh, he did. Almost.
Yep. Go.
4, 5, 5. Wow. These leads are pretty good. Has Niklas Eden picks up the 5 to take a 13-11 lead as the world leads in 2 of 3 men's singles. 2 shots to go when we come back to St. Albert. Well, just a reminder, next week it's the TSN Curling Skins game. $100,000 in total prize money. Kevin Cooey, David Murdoch. 2 of the 4. Kevin Martin will be there. Cheryl Bernard. It all begins next Saturday, the 22nd at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. The TSN Curling Skins game. Now, we've played 6 women's shots, 4 men, and here is the aggregate score. 84 all, unbelievably. And the high aggregate, when it's all said and done, will pick up 8 bonus points. So now we have 2 shots remaining in men's play. And we'll start it off with the hit and roll.
Must be played from the center line out. You're trying to roll in off an opposition rock. If you throw it big, you've got to hit it quite thickly to get that roll into the button. So you'll see a variation in weight. If you roll to the button, it is 5 to the 4'4", 8'3", 12'2". If you remove the opposition rock, you get 1.
And sheet A first, officials are ready.
So it'll be Team World. And the Nicholas Edin second, Frederick Lindberg.
And they got a little edge after that perfect raise played on the last shot.
With a 13-11 lead over Pete Fenson as we begin play. There's the hit, there's the roll, and much too thin out the back for a single point.
Stand by, sheet A.
Those are a little frustrating because that's a great opportunity, a relatively simple shot to score some big points.
You can throw hack weight, just keep it on the high side, get 2 or 3 for sure.
Now for Team World, this is the skipper of this all-star team from Lockerbie, Scotland. This is David Murdoch.
Oh, wow, 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 wow. Wow. Yep. Hard. 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 Really hard.
Struben and Lang on the brush. Steckley calling line. Now over. Maybe swept it a little bit too much, Russ, because it slides back and out for a single point.
Yeah, unforced error from everybody but the skipper there. That was a well-thrown rock. Ralph's initial reaction was it was wide, and all of a sudden they panic swept it. I don't know whether they made a little move or not, but Linda's been talking about it all week. That inside-out shot tends to get straighter as the event goes along. The pebble builds up on the outsides, and just straighten out a little bit on them.
For Team World, in the game between Ulsrud and Cooey, this is Torger Nergård. 16-12. Team World, Ulsrud leading.
This is a chance to pad that lead.
Over. Now, that's 3. That's 4. Catch some of the white. Catch it. Oh, it'll slide and spin back for 4.
I love that speed control, Vic. It's pretty hard to put it in the button unless you throw it up normal, and then you're really risking rolling out. So that nice soft weight, roll it into the 3 or 4 area, and well thrown.
And sheet C first, officials are ready.
So it's 20-12 at the moment for Ulsrud ahead of Cooey. And this is Carter Rycroft who throws the seconds for the Canadian and world champions.
I'm sure Carter's thinking 5 to try and get close.
A little extra weight here.
All right. Sit down. Nope. 4, 3. Sit down. Sit down. And the 2 points.
2 points. Stand by, sheet B.
So through 5 shots there, well, we know the best they can do is 5 points, and so it is Ulsrud who will win this game and pick up the 4 points.
That's huge for Team World. And a little pressure off because we know the last shot is very tough.
Well, you can easily go 5-0, so you had to, it's nice to win it right now.
No, guys. No.
Mark Kennedy.
Nope.
A lot of weight on Mark's here.
No.
Oh, Mark, and trying to keep up here. They've been perfect. They've had 5 every shot. They won't get it there. They won't get 4. Will they get 3? No, they won't. Will they get 2? Yes, they will. So 2 it is.
Better kick him off the team.
Yeah.
Tough one.
Ruined the streak.
Nice shot.
And so 22-15 means that they will get the 4 points for Team North America.
And sheet A first, officials are ready.
Now for Team North America from Minnesota, the Bemidji Curling Club. This is Joe Polo who throws the second stones for Pete Fenson.
And the fact that Edin just got 1 on the last shot, the hit and roll, gives him a chance.
Okay, over. Oh, there's 3. There's Orr. Oh my! Marco Polo!
No, you say Marco. I say Polo.
I say nothing.
What a huge shot that is.
On sheet B, North America 22.
Really turns it around when you can get that full 5 points.
He threw it hard enough to get to the button too, Linda. You know, that's gutsy. Good shot.
Wow, that's huge when you get the 5 and the opposition only gets the 1 to take the lead. Final shot, it's maybe the toughest at the double takeout.
It is, because you have to remove both stones. We see all or none so often. Yes, you can stick it, you can get it on the button. That is the full 5. If you happen to roll a little bit, it's a 4 into the 8'3", 12'2". If you just remove the 2 stones, you do get the single point. This is a chance to put it away.
So with the lead here, 16-14, as Linda says, Joe could put it out of reach here.
Oh, that's close.
Brzezinski, front on the brush, got one. Oh, Joe Polo did it again.
Two great curling shots.
So they're playing for the aggregate now.
That's it, and that will give the 4 points and the win to Team North America. John Morris.
This is Johnny's first shot, isn't it?
It is. Now Kevin Martin and North America have already won the 4 points that go with the game. They've been perfect. 4 of 5. Oh, make it 5 of 6.
Didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say. Clean. Oh, way to go.
Yeah, Mark's going to get it now for the rest of the event. Who was that player that didn't get 5?
Get a paper bag that fits on there. Wow, what a score.
27 is now the all-time high in Continental Cup play since they went to this format where every player throws. Previous numbers were 26 in 2007. Another 5. Unfortunately for Team North America and Kevin Cooey, the 5 comes a little bit too late. The 4 points for the game have already gone to Olsrud, but we're playing for the aggregate and the 8 bonus points.
They were way behind here, weren't they? They were 6 behind, so they can't.
Save the white flag, you know, it's a dumb deal.
On sheet C, first officials are ready.
Thomas.
So Christopher Sva.
Yep.
And it was Christopher, of course, who gained all that notoriety in Vancouver when they came out, the Norwegians, in all the colorful pants. It was his idea.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
A little extra weight.
No, and it'll slide out the back.
I get the single.
For the single point.
Looks like a bad shot on television, but that's just like 1/8 of an inch, maybe half an inch at most, of making it perfect.
On sheet B, first officials are ready.
David Murdoch.
Whoa, whoa. Off.
Trying to close with a 5.
Whoa.
Got a curl.
1, 2, and out the back a single. So North America now has clinched the aggregate and the 8 bonus points.
Jungs.
And a disappointing finish for Murdoch. And now it'll be Nicholas Edin will play the double. The Swedish Olympian from Karlstad.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
And hold on, no, he'll get the 4 points to close out the singles competition. But what started so well really went the way of North America, as the North Americans will take 2 of the 3 men's matches, but more importantly, on the aggregate, it is North America getting the bonus 8 points. So after it's all said and done, now Team North America stretching their lead. Team World falling a little bit farther behind. It's 155-45. And coming up tonight, of course, it is the men's, women's, and mixed skins worth 30 points apiece.
The 2011 Continental Cup on TSN is brought to you by World Financial Group, helping you move from dreaming to doing. The 2011 Continental Cup on TSN is brought to you by Tim Hortons' new Hickory Smoked Ham Breakfast Sandwich, by Scotty's, proud supporter of women's curling for 30 years, and by Ford, official automotive partner of the Canadian Curling Association.
Team North America celebrates another outstanding performance as they extend their lead over Team World. And it started out not badly for the World. They split the points, remember, through the women's shots. And then they lost 2 of 3 on the men's side as they picked up the aggregate as well, a bonus 8 points. Outscoring then Team World 22-10, meaning now it's 155, and tonight with 90 points available, well, it is possible that tonight in the men's, women's, and mixed skins worth 30 points apiece, that Team North America could in fact clinch this 7th edition of the Continental Cup. A record high 27 points. They were perfect 5 of the 6 shots. Now we'll be back with you at 9:30 Eastern time tonight with mixed skins, men's and women's too. But this is an interesting selection by the world coaches. The mixed skins world team. When you look at all of them, I mean, you've got Bingyu Wang from China, who's usually a skip. Torger Nergard, who can skip or throw third. You got 2 skips in Shep and Murdoch. What do you think of that?
Well, it's an interesting combination. Interesting from the standpoint of the players being out of their position, different languages, different combinations of throws, and then add to that, they're going to have to think of strategy to not let North America have very many points. A tough thing to do.
Now, by contrast, Russ, here's the selections for North America. John Morris, who's playing third, of course, for Kevin Martin, was a former skip, won world championships. Mark Kennedy, he knows, of course, from Martin's team. Swisshelm and Spatola, they play together on Erica Brown's team. They've gone with the pairs.
And that's been the theme all along for Neil Harrison and Ricky Lang, and they've kept them on their sheets as much as possible so they get used to the rocks. They kept the pairings together. John Morris knows exactly what Kennedy's doing. The front end from the American team are used to each other, or the middle of the end of the team, I should say. And that it's just made sense, and we certainly can't argue with it because look at the scoreboard.
So that's the mixed skins matchup as Team North America celebrates their win in singles. Here are the team games. Miriam Ott against Jennifer Jones. Nicholas Aydin from Sweden against Kevin Cooey. Linda, let's talk a little bit about the women's game. Miriam Ott has struggled so far.
Well, she has, and I don't know the answer to tell them because they've struggled with weight and line and even the strategy when we talk about skins. But I firmly believe that Miriam's going to have to keep Jennifer away from her game, which is aggressive play.
And you know what? Kevin Cooey has looked very good. Aydin has not looked good.
No, and that's unusual. I picked him to win a medal at the Olympics. He almost did. He's a great player himself, but the team's just playing so-so. They're having trouble with the free shots, the easy come-arounds, the tap-backs.
So that's when we join you at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. women's, men's, mixed skins, and Team North America has the chance to clinch when we join you tonight at 9:30. So till then, on behalf of our entire crew, thank you for joining us here in St. Albert on Canada's sports leader. The Continental Cup is on TSN.